A bonding is emotion that you synchronize your feelings with someone else's feelings. It's like I say, I had a bad day today at work. I really did. And you say, you did? You had a bad day? I say, you're not feeling me. See, I'm not synchronized emotionally with that person. That's bonding. You synchronize your emotions with that person. It's like, I love you. And you say, well, yeah, my temperature of my body, the blinking of my eye, the baby's doing all of that. If the mother breathes fast, the baby breathes fast. If the mother blinks, the baby blinks. And whenever you're bonded for the rest of your life, that's what happens. You're sitting here and your temperature goes up 4 degrees. And your husband's in Barbados somewhere. His temperature will go up too, if he's bonded to you. If you blink fast, he will blink fast, even if he's in Trinidad, if he's bonded to you. The mother has cells of the baby. Each baby she aborts or births, cells are in her body alive until she dies. You can talk to your mother and your mother say, I know something wrong with you. I know it, child, because you're living inside of her. You see, that's bonding. Your cells get into the other person's cells. That's what happens. The baby's developing bonding and attachment. That's the first trimester. Then the baby doesn't develop that too well because the mother was stressed. The father came home and treated her like a bitch. You see, didn't treat her with love and kindness, going in the right direction, you see. He came home with an attitude inside of his nigritude. So, therefore, the baby gets stressed because the mother was stressed. The mother wants to fight and flight, get away from that situation emotionally. So she stops giving nutrients to the baby so she can run from the crisis emotionally or spiritually, which reduces the ability of the baby to bond for the rest of its life. So the person can't bond to a job. You say, every time you get a job, you lose it. Yeah, they have bonding problems. They can't bond to a job, responsibility. You say, why didn't you finish your homework? I don't know. Bonding problem, first trimester stress. And that causes angry expressions, you see. And you look at a rap cover on a rap CD and you say, why is all those angry expressions on there? Bonding problems. Once you know the language of the body, there's no secrets. You see, when a baby emerges from the uterus, that's the only emergency in medicine. When the baby emerges from the uterus, that's the emergency. If you get sick, that's a crisis, but you can't be born but once. So the baby's born and goes into these languages. And you say, oh, isn't that cute? Yeah, But if the baby's stressed because the mother's stressed or the father's stressed, the baby won't develop that communication skill too well. And they always crave that. Even when they get older, you hear them sing, ooh, ooh, Michael Jackson. Stress, first trimester stress, we can know from the sound that the person makes. Marvin Gaye, ooh, let's get it on. He's always cooing in all of his music, raped by his father. You understand? You can hear it in the music. They're always cooing, always have angry expressions, because that's a sign of the inability to bond, not for one day, but for the rest of their life. You see, the second trimester, you develop identity and competence. If you don't get identity and competence, you don't have no identity of your own, not your own hairstyle, not your own walk. You walk like everybody else. You sag your pants like everybody else. You don't have any identity. Your identity is with the crowd, not an individual. Then you follow mobs for the rest of your life. You follow the group. Whatever the group wears, that's what you wear. You want to hear, what is the statistics? That's mob intelligence. You follow in the group. That's what statistics is, group. Mob intelligence. You always want to find out, what did the survey say? That's mob intelligence. You don't have it of your own, so you identify with everybody. Everybody sag their pants. All the singers sound the same. All the beats sound the same. No individual. That's second trimester stress. That's the language of the body, you see? Competence, second trimester. All of us in my book, Self-Diagnosis, teach you how to read it, everything. How to counteract it, that's in my book, Raising Black Children. How to deal with it, identity problems, hyperactivity, masturbation, all that stuff. Because I used to be a psychotherapist for crazy people, challenge people, let me put it that way. I think that's politically correct. Nonetheless, I'm just saying, once you know this language, there's no secrets. None at all, you see. So that's competence. That's the second trimester, remember? Competence, identity. Third trimester, intimacy and concern. Say, ladies married and say, well, let's go on vacation. Let's do things together. Let's have a romantic evening. Just look in each other's eyes and make sexual love with each other's eyes. And you say, well, you know I got to work late, and you know we can't go on vacation together because I got to work. You know, we need the money to pay off this bill. He's having problems with intimacy. He can't be intimate with you because he can't be intimate with himself. That's third trimester stress. They used to hire people like me, the prison system in the U.S. We go into the second grade. I'm talking about 8-year-old children. And from their expressions and the sounds they make, we predict how many prisons to build. I used to do that kind of work. Because we know the language. If there's too many angry expressions, they're going to get in fights. You know, they're going to get in fights, they're going to end up on probation. Oh, you need to build 3 more prisons here in New York. That's what you do. I used to hire me to do that kind of stuff. I don't do it anymore. I'm trying to be, you know, holistic and all that. I'm not trying to be all those things. Nonetheless, I'm just saying, just knowing the language. If somebody don't know the language, say, how'd you do that? How'd you figure that out? Simple. Just look at the sounds they team to lean on, all that music. Ooh, 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 ooh. Even the football team. Ooh, ooh, ooh. I said, it's too much cooey here. Too much bonding problems. But nonetheless, just to know these little things helps you to understand yourself. You pick up a child and they do like this, that's a fear reaction. They're afraid they may be abandoned, not cared for, so they go like this. You think it's cute. That's a sign of fear. That's a sign of fear when you do that, you see. So if I want you to feel fearful, I go back to the first position you had for fear. I say, stick your hands up, you're under arrest. That's why they say that. They know the program. You don't know it. Because the baby's floating in this amniotic fluid and electrical sparks are firing off. You call them electrolytes. When the electricity strikes the mineral, it lights up and we call it electrolytes. So if it's a lot of sparks firing off, we know that's acid. You see, and it was just blue sparks, heavenly sparks firing off very slowly, we know that's alkaline, you see. Then the fluid tastes a little acrid when it's acid. It's slippery when it's alkaline. So the baby can touch happiness, hear happiness, see happiness, and drink the amniotic fluid, taste happiness. To the baby, happiness is holistic. Anger is holistic. So from then on, if I want you to bond to something for the rest of your life, I give you a flag, that's the eyes. I give you a sound, you follow me? That's an anthem. And I give you a fruit, so every state, every country has a flag, a color, has a fruit, has a flower, because that's bonding. They're playing the game on you, you don't know it. That's why you bond to football teams, because they have a certain color. Why you think they have colors? They're not doing this stuff. These are billionaires on these teams. They say, how can we make these people addicted to my product? Go hire some psychologists. They hire me. Say, okay, well, let's do this and let's do that, and we have them. They're psychologists that put together the wrappers on candy bars. When a child looks at a cartoon, that's about 15 psychologists coming at him. Sound therapists, color therapists, and they put it together, manipulate the hell out of you, because you don't know how your machine was built. Once you know how this machine is built, you have a lot of respect for it. So the trimesters, they're in threes, because 3 is a solar number. And we come from a solar system, which we call meta, and some people call it meta-neta. Solar, metric. It's 1 and 0. It's in tens, because those are only symbols you use in computers. It's the 1 and the 0. You don't use any 1, 3, 4, 5. No, it's just 1 and 0 coming out of the metric system, which is a rhythm system stolen by a guy called Morris, who wrote the Morse code. And you know white boys can't dance. How can he come up with a rhythm language? That's the old Congolese drum language. Communicated message from one side of Africa to the other in less than 7 days. They use a 1 and 0. That's how they make a computer. It's nothing but a damn drum. You see? But when you don't know this, you can be had, totally had. So the baby's inside the placenta, stays there for 9 months, as you would say. Then it emerges from the uterus. And it has to be in arm. It has to see the mother's face, because the mother's face is the key to understanding itself. It's the key to understanding language. Chinese, Spanish, they just know emotion, so they see that expression on their mother's face, so that sound means unhappy. They see a smile, oh, that sound means happy. So they need to see the mother's face. That's why the umbilical cord comes up to the lady's breast. Each umbilical cord is long enough for the baby to reach the mother's breast. That's it. Because the baby wants to see the mother's face. That's it. That's the emotional language of the baby. The baby's looking up at the mother, and the beginning of her face is the mouth. And you are trying to bond someone to your religion or whatever it is, you say, in the beginning, there was the Word. Duh! That's, you're damn right. If you're looking up at the beginning of your mother's face, it is words coming out of her mouth. In the beginning, there is the words. So I took you through a birth process, because you were without form. You were an egg moving upon the earth without form. Are you still following me? I just sucker punched you into my religion. No disrespect. I'm just saying, because I know how the body is formed, I just take you back to your original DNA and program you. That's all we do. You have to know when to stress the mother and how to damage the sperm, and you can rule a nation. No problem. Sperm is born in 3 months. The sperm is born, but it has to be incubated. So the brother's pregnant for 3 months. He should have a maternity top on. He's always knocked up. Pregnant with sperm. And you know right well, if you're pregnant, you shouldn't be drinking any alcohol, you shouldn't be smoking any cigarettes. You know I'm telling you the truth, and he's pregnant all the time. That's why he like pregnant women. You sure look good. Yeah, because he's knocked up anyway. So nonetheless, I'm just trying to give you an understanding of, once you understand how this machine is put together, how emotions are put together, then you can take them apart. You have to know how it's put together to take it apart. How to take you away from yourself. Attach you to McDonald's. I use McDonald's colors. I use McDonald's sound. Coca-Cola has music. Coca-Cola has sound. It's red. Because when you close your eyelids and I flash light at it, you will see red. And babies love red of all colors. So I give you this red and you wonder what's going on. No, no, no. I know how the machine is put together. A psychiatrist knows how to make you crazy. They have to know crazy to know sane. They have to know crazy to know sane. Dangerous people. I work for a lot of them, consortiums of them, 12, 20 of them. Crazy guys, you know. I could tell you some stories, but I don't want to scare y'all. You think these white people looking out for you? I work for them. I don't want to upset you and scare you. All right, so let me just go back to the little health stuff and keep you nice and safe somewhere. Nonetheless, I'm saying that the whole structure of how to be healthy is programmed in you. The baby only ate 3 meals a day and didn't eat any snacks. The amniotic fluid is changed 4 in the morning, then around 3 o'clock in the afternoon and 6 o'clock the baby's finished eating for the whole day. The baby's following the circadian rhythm. You come out, you got to follow the master's rhythm. You still eating like the master taught you to. That's right. You got to eat carbohydrates, because we don't give no slaves no steak to get some work out of them. We give them carbohydrates, rice, starch, yam, potatoes. We give it to you, and grease. Grease is what we need. Grease makes food taste good. You got to put grease in everything. So they put grease on your collard greens, grease on your callaloo, grease on the potatoes, grease on everything. They put grease on grease. They don't care. That's right. And they got a love affair with grease. They put that grease on them and say, I've used the grease of a deer, I can run fast. If I use the grease of a boar pig, I can be violent. You say, let's call it lotion. And they used to take grease baths, what you call lotion today. You see, you don't see any other. Go look at National Geographic. You don't see nobody greasing itself up. Nobody's doing that stuff with the Europeans. Nonetheless, we're just going to keep it on this nice, politically correct. I think that's what I'm supposed to say. I'm politically correct. Now, we're talking about understanding the body and understanding when to eat and what not to eat. We know it's not one titty full of milk and another one full of Wheaties. They don't go together. Nothing combines with milk in nature whatsoever. Nothing combines with milk whatsoever. Nothing combines with meat whatsoever. A tiger doesn't kill a deer and drag it over to the salad bar, bite the deer, eat the salad, bite the deer, drink the water, bite. The tiger ain't gonna do that. Tiger ain't that damn stupid. Say, I'm eating meat. So in nature, nothing combines with meat. In nature, nothing combines with milk. Milk is always drank at the temperature of the mother's body. It's not cold. You cannot give cold milk to a baby calf. You cannot give pasteurized or homogenized milk to a baby calf. It will kill them in less than 7 days. You can't even give bread to a dog. If you give it to them, they get constipated and die within a week. And there you go, eating bread. Cook the bread. Oh, it's pasta now. Bake the bread. Now it's a cake. All right, fry the bread. Now it's a pancake. All right, make it into a string. Now it's spaghetti. You just eating bread. Carbohydrates. And carbohydrates make alcohol. Barley makes beer. Rye makes whiskey. Grapes make wine. Carbohydrates. The more you eat, the more alcohol you get. They're carboholics. They're just eating a lot of carbs, one carb after another. And chewy, creamy food simulates milk. They want to be nurtured by their mother. That's why they're eating that creamy food. They miss being nurtured by their mother. You can tell by what they eat how crazy they are. If they're eating something that crunches with salt on it, they got anger. Chips. You say they're crunching all that. Because they got to take that tension away, so they're chewing gum to get rid of that tension, you see. No animal chews gum, aside from the fact it's made from wood tar, coal tar, and old tires. I mean, that's another issue altogether. But no animal chews gum. No animal gets up late at night and take a snack. I ain't never seen a cow get up and say, I better take a snack. Moo, moo, moo. They ain't going that stuff. No animal gets up late at night and eat. No animals eat at night. A veterinarian will tell you, you feed a pig all night, you're going to have a damaged pig. You can't feed no animal all night. But if you take them to the hospital, they put them on the nurse's schedule and they feed the baby all night. That's the hospital schedule. That's not nature's schedule. Because your body goes to sleep at night. That's the law. You have what we call a rhythm, a circadian rhythm. You see? Yeah. From 11 noon time to around 7 p.m. at night, you can eat. That's the law. Then from 7 p.m. to 4 a.m. in the morning, your body's absorbing stuff. You can't eat anymore. Your body says, I ain't eating no more. I'm finished for today. So the food just sits in your stomach and rot. Smells like a bowel movement coming out your mouth. And you say, oh, my breath did something bad to me. I got bad breath. Let's give it special education. The breath ain't bad. You did something bad to your breath. That's why it's sitting in your stomach and it smells like a turd. So when you talk, you got the funkerized breath. Somebody just want to hand you a roll of toilet paper when they talk to you, because they know it's where your mouth should be, sitting on the toilet. Nonetheless, from 7 p.m. to 4 a.m. in the morning, it's a kind of absorption phase, and from 4 a.m. in the morning to 11 o'clock, that's the cleansing phase. So if you eat something in the morning, it should be cleansing. The most cleansing thing is water and fruits. I'm talking about sweet fruits. I'm not talking about non-sweet fruits, which is corn, which is a fruit, which is barley, which is a fruit, which is rice, which is a fruit, which is beans, which is a fruit, which is okra, which is a fruit, which is tomatoes, which is a fruit, which is string beans, which is a fruit. I'm talking about the sweet fruits. They're cleansing. Barley is a fruit. There's a seed you flatten called oatmeal. That is a fruit. But they're non-sweet fruits. So we just got into the habit, oh, is it a vegetable? Yeah. Vegetables do reproduce, and whatever they reproduce with is the fruiting part of the plant. So I'm saying it's a fruit. That's the part of a plant. All of them are vegetables. You don't, well, we don't know. We just think callaloo is a vegetable and apples are fruit. No, they're all vegetables. It's just a part of the vegetable I was talking about. The barley is the fruiting part of the barley plant. String bean is the fruiting part of that plant, or French beans, whatever name you want to call it, which is 1 cup of raw string bean juice is at least 2 to 3 units of insulin, in case you want to know. Raw string bean juice. Grind it up, make it into a juice. It has to be raw. 1 cup is 3 units of insulin. Because food is the medicine and medicine is the food. Nonetheless, all of these rules were a part of us before we emerged from the uterus. And then we got on this hospital schedule, and then we got on this plantation schedule of eating a whole lot of starches and greasy stuff. And we haven't gotten away from it today. Rice, 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 chicken, rice, chicken. A chicken is just a buzzard with feathers. It's just a pig with feathers. A chicken will eat another chicken. A chicken is nothing more than a pig with feathers. And I don't mean I don't like to say anything bad about pigs, not that I have any as friends. But pigs are in what you call a hippopotamus family. They will stay in water all day if they're in the wild. They'll take a bath all day. They're very clean, smarter than dogs. But if you put them in a little cage some damn where to grow, because you want to have some bacon or something, then the only water they can get to is rolling in their own bowel movement. Then you say the pig is filthy. But the pig is very clean in the wild. Take baths all day. Similar to you. Take you out of Africa, put you in some ghetto and some council houses and look at them niggas. Look how they act. Look, the condition you're living with is causing this. If you create a condition where people destroy themselves with food or with guns or with violence, if you create a condition according to the Geneva Convention, they call that genocide. You don't have to shoot them. You just create the condition where they shoot themselves, rape each other. You create a condition according to the Geneva Convention where people destroy themselves. It's called genocide. We don't get it. Even those folks don't get it. Nothing against people who say, we shall overcome. We shall. Did the Ukrainians do that? Hell no. They know how to fight white people. They pick up a rock, something. They ain't walking around saying, we shall overcome. No. Look how the white people act with each other. They say, no, you want something, you got to take it. That's how they show it. Right on TV, they show you. People with problems, you know, you have a nice day and all of a sudden you say, I don't know why I'm so depressed. You just talked to 3 depressed people. What's wrong with you? They didn't wear you out. They're not in your emotional expense account. You don't have no budget for these Negroes. Nonetheless, let me go back to science. Because most of these people are in your family, and I don't want to go there, you know. You lucky if you can get out your house sane. Leroy's in the closet masturbating to Ray Charles. I mean, all these freaks in your family. Cousin John's half drunk, want to hit on your sister. I'm just saying what's going on. If you can get out your house sane, you're doing something if you're black. Then you end up going to school and understand that Christopher Columbus discovered Africa and breath and air. You got to learn all this stupid stuff, and they make you crazy. Then you meet someone and you expect them to be sane. What's wrong with them? They went to public school. That's what's wrong with them. They got to be half crazy. Let me go back to my subject. So we just want to chew properly and nourish our body properly and eat properly. That's the key to it all. If it wasn't made by God, just stay away from it. You understand? You know bleached white flour wasn't made. It was made in a factory. So stay away from it. White rice, they took off all the brown stuff, the fiber, and they sell that to you separate. Like they do the wheat. They sell you wheat germ, wheat fiber. They sell everything from the wheat separately.